Feels so exclusive. Let's go, let's go. 我现在在这个 Golden Lounge 随便吃一点东西。其实它很多东西吃，可是 I want to save my stomach for the actual flight. 拿了一个类似 roti canai 的东西，粥，加点水果。
My first time in business class.
Took a flight 很多人。When we boarded, they started offering welcome drinks. So they had champagne, but I was a bit awkward and asked for apple juice instead. So here's me and my apple juice. The leg rest was so far away, and immediately I thought, do all these rich people just have really, really long legs? And I'll just have to hang my legs mid-air the whole flight. Look how far away this TV is. I have to lean forward a good 5 feet to reach it. 还没有起飞，他已经叫我看好 menu 了，因为他等下要点餐。There was either Japanese or international cuisine, and of course, I'm going for the Japanese. Then it was time for takeoff, and the takeoff was just like any other flight. I must say it did feel a lot more premium, but also because of the stupid ass price. 1 hour into the flight, I suddenly realized these buttons over here. I could actually move the seat in front, so my legs don't hang. My legs can go inside the compartment meant for your feet. It took me a long time. But it was great. It's fantastic. The windows didn't have the typical shade that you pull down. It had these digital buttons that you press, and apparently it goes down a shade at a time. It takes really long to go down. So at one point I had 3 different windows with 3 different grades of darkness. It's the one behind me is super dark, and then mine is somewhere in the middle. And then there was one directly in front of me that was extremely bright. It was weird. And it took a really long time for it to get dark. Can you tell it's getting darker as we speak right now? It was just very fascinating to me, Usually I'm on AirAsia and you have to lift up the shit and put down the shit yourself. Okay, it's my first time. Just let me be. And then it was meal time. I had a morning flight, so this was actually the brunch menu. There's so many things and it's so colorful. There's also an appetizer which I didn't get in shot. Honestly, without the menu, I couldn't tell you what any of these foods were, but they were so good. How is this airplane food? This is better than any restaurant quality food. So I ate my meal while watching my favorite Chinese show, 你好星期六, which I surprisingly found on the system. Really just living my best life. Recently, I've been obsessed with Chiikawa, and it was only appropriate to watch some Chiikawa on the way to Tokyo, right? The flight attendants then came around offering green tea and chocolates to everybody, so of course I took some. Then it was time for a nap, and this was really one of the most anticipated moments for me. This is me struggling to show you how the seat lies all the way down, all the damn way down. I was really having too much fun with this. I think I only slept for about 5 minutes and then remembered that I could order anything I wanted on the entire flight. So I got up and ordered a beer and an ippudo ramen. I saw the opportunity and I took it. And honestly, this ramen was so good. It's better than any on-land ippudo ramen I've ever had. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. As you can probably tell, I was extremely pleased with this meal. It was the best. I read online that if you sit on the left side of the plane, potentially you can see Mount Fuji out your window. And look at that! I didn't actually get to go to Mount Fuji during this trip, so this was really nice. Before the flight, I checked out the A&A lounge just to see how it's different from the KL one. So honestly, it looked very corporate, nothing much. They did have this draft beer machine, so of course, I got a beer. This was the highlight of the entire lounge. I acknowledge that I am very lucky and privileged to have this experience, but The food was really not good, so I'm just skipping over this part. Everything was a bit stale. I didn't end up eating any of it. The beer was good though. No complaints about the beer. And it also got me quite excited for the flight. I think I had 2 beers. And here we are. For some reason, the flight back felt more spacious and more comfortable. Like even editing this video right now, it looks like there's so much more leg room in this flight compared to the previous one. The seat I had on the previous flight was this one right here in the far left corner. So there was nobody in front of me, it was just the wall. So maybe that's why it feels more cozy over here. Feels like I have more breathing space. I know they're the same size, but you know, maybe I was just happy that I was going home. So this time around, it was a night flight, so the food menu was the dinner menu. Again, they have Japanese and international. But of course, we're coming back from Tokyo. I want to experience all the Japan I can. So of course, I'm opting for the Japanese cuisine. There was Wi-Fi on this flight, the whole flight. Here's a mini tour of my seat. This is the remote, the light, the buttons where I now know I can press. Also the tray table where I almost broke while trying to open for this shot. Me asking for champagne because I suddenly have this newfound confidence and I know that I can. It also came with these 2 things, so the ham and tomato salad bowl, and also this, she told me, was a A&A signature treat, which is a, I think, almond biscuit stick. I couldn't decide if I liked it or not. As you can see, I thought really hard about it. Like honestly, it was quite nice, but also a bit not nice. Yeah, I think me putting it back into the plastic bag tells you everything you need to know. The flight attendant finally came around and I ordered my Japanese meal. I had some time to kill, so I started editing this video on the plane. Oh, it was an experience. iPad in one hand, champagne in the other hand. I understand now why business people fly business class. I get it. Dinner was served and everything looked and sounded like it came out from a science experiment. Just when I thought my meal was done, that was only the appetizer. This is the main dish. It's crazy. I've never heard of Alfonsino fish, but this fish was so good. It was the best fish I've ever put into my mouth. It was great. I thought these were just regular pickles, but then this pink ball thingy, I thought it was a plum, but I put it into my mouth and it was the most saltiest thing I've ever had in my entire life. And it's like salty until it will make you cry, those type of salty, you know. She then asked me if I wanted dessert because they had extras from the international menu. So on this flight, I really enjoyed the lay down seat and I slept for a good like 3 hours on this 7-hour flight. I joke about how I'm never going to be able to travel economy ever again. But is it really a joke though? I woke up to an orange juice and some snacks as we were about to land. And that's it. That was my flight. we landed back in KL. I'm so happy and so sad at the same time because I know that it's gonna be probably a very long time before I get to sit business class again. This also marks the end of my first ever solo trip and I have no regrets. Thank you so much for watching until the end of the video. I'll see you next time. Bye bye!